I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do, this guy says the horse can do.
Ranting on a Monday morning, we're here to talk about day one of the championships, which it's funny. Well, of course it was funny because everyone was screaming on Twitter on Saturday morning, just howling, how can they possibly think about letting this meeting go on? And then, wouldn't you know it, the track turns out slow. Most extraordinary thing, Glenn.
Yeah, it was extraordinary. The power of PVL, he apparently was pushing very hard. He just said, we're racing. The meeting went ahead. And as usual, he's kissed on the almighty front door because they produced a track which was very safe and very successful day.
It didn't even look like massive kickback, Glenn, either. Like watching visually, it was
incredible.
It was
incredible, Gord. Just incredible.
Anyway, we needed to say that Mark is Nostradamus, Glenn. You and I thought it was off for sure. No,
the Norwegians were Nostradamus because Bomb and Willy Weather and all those other ones were saying there was going to rain throughout Saturday. They had the chance of rain dissipating through Saturday, but they basically said that it was raining well into Saturday, whereas the Norwegians were saying that it was going to stop raining by 5:30. They did revise that back to 3 a.m. It did actually stop raining at 5:30. They had basically had 2 inches of rain on the Thursday night, and then from Friday morning to Saturday morning had another 9 inches. Sorry, 7 inches for a total of 9 inches.
Yeah. Anyway, congratulations.
But it's fucking hard to work out, isn't it, Glenn? So this year, we start Randwick on the Saturday with a Peno of 6.1, the going stick of 7.8. The lower the going stick is, the heavier it is, the wetter it is. After 232 millimetres of rain in the 2 days prior. Last year, right, scratching time, the penetrometer was 5.37, so 6.1 versus 5.37, going stick of 9.2 versus a going stick of 7.8. We had no rain for the previous 24 hours and 20 millimetres for the 7 days. We got 12 millimetres of rain before the first, and the track came out as 10.2 in the back.
Wow.
So all I can think of is that this year we have had 100 millimetres of rain less in the lead up. Like last year we had 370 mils of rain to the end of March. This year we've had 270 mils of rain to the end of March. And whether the water table, based on the rainfall in the year to date, is sufficiently low to cart all that water off, because obviously they've got good drainage, but it won't drain away if the water table's too high. Anyway, it was a fucking fantastic day of racing, wasn't it? Slow track. I know they wanted to get off the inside, but there were 2 winners that sort of sat on the fence. Chain of Lightning, which was a 20-1 pop, and DUCASSE basically sat on the fence, got popped off, and certainly they didn't race very close to the rails in the straight, did they, Gord?
No, I think that there was pretty much no advantageous position because there was nothing wrong with being rails in run as long as you sort of got 4 off the fence in the straight. And the way the jockeys, I've said, Glenn, this so many times that, like, if they're auto getting off the fence, then inside draws in run is still fine. As long as, you know what I mean? It's not a situation where the 8 wide is so much better than the 4 wide in the straight. And that wasn't the case. So every horse sort of got to a reasonable position, even if you were drawn inside, which is a variance that we've seen quite a lot on wet tracks over the last few years.
And also since the beginning of like all our theories or all pro punter series on wet tracks and whatever and bias and sitting there in 9 and just trucking into it, the barrier's been moved out 15 yards. It's made barrier 1 like barrier 6 straight away, and you don't get stuck on the inside like you once did.
gives them more space at the start as well. I mean, look, it seems to me the only tracks that play pretty crazy are your country. Well, I mean, obviously I focus in New South Wales, but there's certain country New South Wales tracks where if the sting is out, you need to be on the outside rail.
Yeah,
right. And you heard Nigel on the live stream. Thanks to anyone who did join in. Well, thanks to all our contributors who did an amazing job to front up to the live stream, which ran from before race 1 to after the last in Brisbane. Of course, Nigel suggesting that race clubs aren't paid by Racing New South Wales to irrigate. They aren't given equipment by Racing New South Wales to irrigate. I mean, I'm opposed to irrigation anyway, but the fact is that it's just going to happen. And Nigel was making the point that, poorer country race clubs, well, they'll just irrigate the few lanes on the inside where they typically race. They're going, well, we're not going to water that grass out there because, no one's out there. And of course, if you do get a situation where you get a decent amount of rain, well, then suddenly
inside
head west, young man.
That's a very good theory by Nigel.
He's got tons of them, Glenn. If
if I ever listen to him, I might pick up something.
Well, he also went pony riding in the whole race.
No, that one, when he was using that analogy, I wasn't impressed. There was a lot of good things said, but that one I don't get.
I think what there are a number of strings to a jockey's bow.
So what are you saying? He went pony riding. He's going to lose 20 kilos and become an apprentice?
No, and he was trying to say that he understood why some of the good jockeys are that much better because, like, he was trying to make his horse run faster and it wouldn't go.
He couldn't communicate with the horse.
Yeah,
and he's saying. It appears to me that some jockeys would be better than others at communicating.
Yeah, but I'm saying they should all be reasonable at that mark because they're professionals and he's ridden a horse 2 times in his life. So I just think that's too much of a separation there to form a conclusion off that basis. So
all right.
Anyway,
so Nigel's back to square. All right. The track speed on Saturday came out as a 6.3 for all courses. And even with that 6.3, the times look pretty. Well, you could have marked the track faster by the looks of the times. But anyway, the 6.3, courtesy of your ratings to win. The first race, I was in a hurry to diss Espionage, as sort of we all were on the show on Friday. And then the horse that we did fall into copped an interesting ride, shall we say.
Well, it's funny because the race 1 hasn't even jumped yet, mate. We're dishing it, okay? So the horse that probably should have won the race is Britain, or we'll see, like just awful, right? And then the 2 hard in the market that are solid are being backed as a heavy 10 and it's a 6. And you're going there thinking this is going to be heavy 51. I don't know. I don't think we were that wrong.
And they upgraded the track before the start, an hour before the first upgrade.
Yeah, 10 to 9, but I drove through the car park. I had a heavy 51 walking in.
Yeah, well,
10 to 9, first use of the tracks when it's come out off ratings to win as a 6.2 I mean, that's significant.
The track was just slow, wasn't it? Wasn't that
just a slow track?
The track was?
Yeah.
It was like, and it wasn't an evil slow track. It was just a
no.
I think it was probably hard to sort of make you run down the extreme outside. You're better off to sort of, and that's because they're going to be, first of all, the pace drops off a bit. And that they're going to look to get off the fence in the straight. So you're getting pushed
everyone's jiggy joggy.
Well, my I've stressed this for ages is that you really don't want to be working from a long way out round the home bend on tracks where it's trying.
Sticky surface, that's a very, very good, good point.
Let's look at this Nash special in the first. I just can't believe this has been let slide. It's just with this excuse and fair enough. Terrible ride.
Well, I think we should probably look at the lateral for the start just to see, how it does, as you expect, spring the lids. Now, I know that there's a bit of parallax there because you're not directly side on. But, he's jumped like a gazelle and you expect...
Yeah. I see when a horse jumps like that, I'm calling this race over. It's such a good sign when a horse does that. And then I'm thinking, what the hell? A couple 100 metres later. But anyway.
So it jumped like that, Gord, and went straight to 440 in the run.
Rachel's not trying to boot up underneath it. Nash is restraining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And J-Max going, oh, you've left a bit of room there, Nash. I might keep you out there.
Rachel's offering it to him, and he says, no, I'm going to make my horse over race and restrain. Look at it. The horse isn't liking it. Or look at the head action there. It's just disgraceful.
Let's look at it head on. I mean, he does like to sit wide in the early stages, Nash, and sort of cut across.
Yeah, but he doesn't restrain like that.
I get,
Look at that necking he's doing.
I don't want to talk about it. Look at the big clods of mud. Well done, track curator. Anyone heard of Suresh, whatever his name used to be?
Navesh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's the one that provided us the sand pit at the Gold Coast, wasn't he? The most ridiculous track I've ever seen. So,
Navesh, you won't be coming back around me. Whoever this bloke is doing a freak's job.
His name's Michael Wood, and he was reported as saying that he put 5 tons of sand on the track. So whether
what is 5 tons of sand? That might be just a sprinkle the whole way around.
Yeah, I suppose it is.
5 tons sounds like a lot of dirt, but when you're over
a huge
4 kilometres square,
yeah,
sprinkle.
Anyway, 5 tons of sand in order to improve the sand profile of the track. Because I mean, sand helps drainage, but it also, makes it harder to grow grass. And if there's too much sand, then you get a lot of kickback because it hasn't settled into the.
Anyway, let's just watch this Nash 4 kilo apprentice riding.
Yeah, so Rachel's on the inside, Nash is 3 out, and J-Max in between them on the winner. Hallett is next in the picture. You've got Extreme Diva and Trafalgar Square outside it.
Yeah, if you can just pause there, Mark. I got the track early, and the people parking next to me, there were 2 couples, old and old, and one of the ladies was saying to one of the husbands, or whatever they were, so no matter what happens, we're guaranteed $4,000 prize money in the first. So that obviously the owners of Trafalgar, it was $4,000 for 6. And he said, look, don't think like that. We might get another space. Anyway, they got 6,100, but I did giggle. Go to the races, you're on the 50s chance, and you're thinking about last prize money. Welcome to the new game.
The speed in this race to this point that we've stopped at is +3, and it's par home, so it's a genuine pace. Anyway, the other thing was Nash's asset was his speed. Like he's half a length, if that, in front of it, Espionage.
The argument is, did what he do cost it just over 3 lengths? Like, would it have changed the result? Because we know it definitely affected how well the horse can go, but was it enough to cover the 3-length margin? I think you could go either way on that one. You're saying definitely it's cost him 3 lengths, Glenn.
I'm saying, as a punter, I watched it and thought, what are you doing? I've now got none.
Yeah, so did I. That's right.
If you're going to play lotto, you like your balls to be in the fucking bucket.
Yes. Okay. So Nash took the balls out.
I like that. I haven't heard that one before, Glenn. That's a good
just
one.
Came into my brain then. Yeah. I'm a weirdo. Maybe.
So we've yacked on about the second horse, which did go from 6-4 to 7-2. So it all looks a bit icky when you marry that up with the ride. What does this tell us? This race?
The winner is a grade above him. A grade above, besides Rosalind Star, it's a grade above him. Coming back in distance for Gay didn't affect it in any way, or like usually we put a big negative in that, but has it won an event? I mean, to me, 7 and 8 look like good wet track types, and there they are 6 lengths away from the winner, and the track's at 6, and
it's a hollow win in some case.
I don't want to back anything. I want to follow Rosalind Star as it develops into a 3-year-old when it's fresh. And
so do I. I think it's a good horse, and we can forgive it. I mean, you know, like Espionage did have the freshen up and then the lovely mid-prep trial, but I don't give so much of a tick with that with Gabe. But it trialled against open class horses and still won.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, if we talked about this off camera before we started, and that is if we had known it was going to be a soft 6, we would have just said, okay, there's 2 chances. I have a really good go at Rosalind Star to win, and I back Espionage to at least come out even, and it would have been a lovely play. Saying that, we didn't know Nas was going to do what he did, and we didn't know that it was a 6 at this stage. So.
Right, for mine, Rosalind Chance wasn't given its chance. Rosalind Star wasn't given its chance to show us what it could do, but it still might be a very, very good squib.
Yep, I can understand that. It's definitely not proven yet.
Let's go to the chairman's, which looked really weak. And obviously the winner has come out of the starter favourite coming out of a 78, which, you know, thinking is probably unlikely most of the time. But anyway, they've gone par to the 800, let's say, and +8 from the 800. So that's a below average tempo. It's set by Double Cherry, who's got the line through post impressionist, who we won't be seeing in the Sydney Cup. He's gone for a spell. Second in the run there is Hopeful, that Jason Collett had this horse travelling comfortably all the way around, and she was the one that the winner had to come out after in the closing stages. On the rails there is Zagalo, and Stockman has settled into a 4th position there. We'll get even closer as they get towards the business end. On the back of Stockman is Verona. Over on the inside there is Funambulist, and then we've got in the running line on the back of Verona, and as you can see, Over Racing throwing its head around is the winner, and it's on the outside of Mars a bit, and the 2 at the back there are Loft, just underneath so Dazzling, that's gone just ahead of it. So no need to watch these horses like go at true speed. We can probably speed it up a bit because the winner has finally settled down.
Look, on a bad day, I'm pretty happy about this decision because I was going to back Stockman, and then after watching the first, I said, well, no, I'm giving you none now. So that was handy.
You backed off the real wetties.
Yeah. And,
I really liked it on Friday's show, Stockman, because I thought it'd be a 10, but you know, rated really well, but I still didn't put it on top.
Yeah, you put the winner on top, Glenn.
Yeah, well, he played it great. A strong horse. I mean, I don't want to gloat about getting. I only seem to be getting 2 or 3 races right this carnival. It's annoying me.
And you poo-pooed Verona. Said getting warm.
Yeah, it got really warm, guys. Like really warm.
And you found
Mark, there's an argument to make that you could have found Circle of Fire stronger as well. I mean, if you're
I did. I marked it 280.
Oh, okay. So it was your second selection, wasn't it? Or was it?
Yeah, well, the horse I looked hardest for was Verona.
Yeah. Because it's got that Y mark line, and this horse had more upside off that run.
It was a really good run, Gord. You picked it out in that race, like before, you know. You basically alerted us to look at this horse, and I looked at it in that Y mark race and thought, wow, you did a really good job. Now, I'm not normally looking for a horse so lightly with such a light prep into a 2,600 metre race, but the places to go here were really limited.
Wasn't it a pretty good win? When you have second and third, both first and second in run, you've over raced due to, like, you could have gone faster and still done these late sectionals.
Might be the win of the day in a relative sense.
Yeah, but I mean, what it'll go to, the Sydney Cup or whatever, it's got to be a live chance.
Sure.
Oh, definitely go to Sydney Cup. And the live chance. Who wrote it, Tommy Berry?
No, Dylan Gibbons.
Oh, Dylan Gibbons. Thank you.
Yeah, so like, I mean, at the top of the straight, I thought, oh, he's peaked on his run, and you know, he's going 19 to 26. So I'm going, oh yeah, okay. Like here,
Hopeful's going to win.
Yeah,
especially with Collett. He's full bore there, Collett, and plug it. It's a great win.
Look, and we have like this horse. I mean, we've got that run at Ascot over the 28-16, the Queen's Vase Group 2.
Yeah.
Fourth in that race. I know it got beaten by a margin, but it's running some proper stuff overseas.
17 go around in the Carbine Club, and we get a peach from B Shin, who, when he rides a peach, just everything looks really good. +9, +1, that's a fast pace. And there's 2 lengths over the first 5, and then there's another 3.5 length gap in the field. So that, the 5 across the line do sort of stamp themselves on the race. So the years shoots to the front here. High Dandy backing up and coming back from the 2000 of the Tulloch moves into second, does some chasing there. DUCASSE is posied in box seat there. It's underneath MANAAL is moving up 3 deep, and Les Vampires in between. So DUCASSE underneath Les Vampires. MANAAL is in the green cap behind Les Vampires, and over on the rails is a Gita, and Kintyre is 3 wide on the back of the Roughie, which, if you're going to find a back, that's not the right back. But anyway, so as we...
that's not MANAAL on the fence in the green and white, is it, Mark?
No. Oh, you reckon it is? I had MANAAL in.
You might be right. It's more a question.
I've got that as Wits End on the fence there in the green cap.
Okay.
J-Mac from gate 2.
Because I thought MANAAL had barrier 1, no? No.
MANAAL had 5.
Okay, you'll be right.
6.
Yeah, you'll be right.
6.
You'll be right. When I was watching the race, I was thinking that was MANAAL.
So Bishan's building the revs. Just go and see what's what here. So DUCASSE wins the race. It's box seating there. Tannhauser runs second. It is underneath Gold Bullion near the back there. So Gold Bullion's been cast wide throughout, and Tannhauser is a fair way off them, but they have gone fast. Kintyre runs third.
A big improver from the yard guys, Tannhauser. So second.
Big shortener too. Like he halved his price. Kintyre, we pointed it out before. It's on the back of this MANAAL. Firestorm runs 4th. It is just back underneath Kintyre in the blue sleeves with the orange and yellow check. And MANAAL runs 5th. It's just up ahead of Firestorm. So they're your players in the finish. And, the New Zealander drops out, which must have been mythical all along. So stupid me for going looking for it. Because, when DUCASSE won first up on a softish track, and we all went, wow. And then we tipped it in the Hobartville, and the betting didn't want it. And then it ran in the Randwick Guineas, and then it went up to the Rosewood Guineas, and now it's come back to a mile on a soft track at home. And I'm going to say never going to lose. I mean, it's
so who runs second, the New Zealand horse?
No,
Tannhauser. Tannhauser second, Kintyre came third.
And fourth?
And fourth was the ex-New Zealander Firestorm, the thing that won the midweek's beating Romeo's
who runs
Choice.
Fifth? You sure it's not
MANAAL. Yeah, MANAAL runs 5th.
But then the MANAAL was one of the fence.
Okay, you're right, Glenn. I've got them around the wrong way.
Yeah, because I was watching MANAAL.
Awesome.
I thought, for fuck's sake, I'm going fucking mental now.
Right, so MANAAL was on the rails. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Saying, Mark, you say this is never going to lose. I've never seen a more inch-perfect ride in my whole life.
Yeah,
They've stayed all ground and then got 6 off it in the straight. You can't get any better than that.
He's riding the best in Australia. Good.
Well, that's what I said on Saturday. I got howled down.
He's the best rider in Australia. Nash was, but he's gone from 1st to 42nd. It's been a very big drop.
Yeah, you've just got a problem with J-Mac, mate. Like, J-Mac's the best. Anyway.
Well, J-Mac is obviously outstanding good, and I don't have a problem with him at all. But he just seems to get a green pass with every ride. Probably Guesty does a great job for him. Maybe I'm wrapping Guesty. Don't mean to. But when it comes to like perfect balance, Blake Shin is just in the peak of his form. But don't get me wrong, he can go off the cliff too, because he could break up with a girlfriend or something, he doesn't want to talk to him for 3 months. He does lose it. He's an emotional man. So he can...
Yeah, and that's the other feather in J-Mac's cap, isn't it? That he is very level. He's very, he's very switched on.
I really agree with that. And I haven't got a problem with J-Mac. He's a terrific rider, Gordon. I'm saying he's a terrific rider.
No, I mean, like, you don't seem to have as much of an opinion of him as I do.
No, I tell you what it is. Yeah. You are so much more a 6-4 man than me, and he's on 6-4 shots.
Chance, yeah.
So that's right. He made RIFF ROCKET win. Yeah. That was J-Mac.
And I think the 6-4 chances are 2-1 chances, and I'm just backing them, and I can't. I've tried to mould into it. I can't do it, and when I do it, I don't do it with any success. So it's not that I've got a problem with J-Mac. I think he's an outstanding rider, one of the best we've ever seen. But at the moment, Blake is riding fucking unbelievably, and he seems to completely try on everything. He goes forward with balance. He finds a perfect spot, and he presents. And I've been watching him in Melbourne for a few months now. Day, night, Albury, Wodonga, fucking shin, freak.
Yeah, he is.
But I'd say he's got a very lovely girl at the moment, and he's all happy and loved up, and all the bills are paid, and he's in a really nice spot. That can change with Blake.
Getting off that subject here. Well, there's only one horse you can take out of it, and that's Townhouser, who extended like a bloody good horse. Really and I think now we know what it is. It needs to sting out of the track, so it's still reasonably early preparation. I think we're going to be stuck on sting out of track for a little while now, and it could find a race. Townhouser. Saying that, it's interesting the linked form here, because when I was doing it just after this race, and I said, let's go and have a look at DUCASSE's runs previously, and it's like a bit of linked form going over there. Got absolutely owned by Celestial Legend 2 races in a row, and then got owned by RIFF ROCKET and Seawolf in the Guineas. And you'd have to say a little bit of thanking for a couple of winners that came up later on in the program. So.
Yep. I'm interested in the run of this filly that Waller has only had. It was second up in this race, the Firestorm, that looked to win a low race on the Kenzo first up. And, last preparation, she was like 1,000,000 to 1 in the fillies races. She's a filly against 4 males there. And she's only second up. So I'd keep your eye on her as well. But, don't disagree with what Gord said about Tannhauser. All right. The market was pretty sweet on Good Banter.
This is insane. This is insane, this betting plunge. Anyway.
Why was it insane?
$4.60 for Good Banter. I'm just not. I can understand people finding it as an 8's chance, but $4.60 SP, I wasn't getting it.
Okay. Well, they sort of had to. They did, given that they didn't want to back Autumn Angel. They've got to find something. They've got to sort of settle on. We've got to get keen on something. And your choices were sort of Waikato Girl or Good Banter out of the Kembla race, and Good Banter was wide at Kembla, and Waikato Girl had a suck.
Private Legacy was out of that race too.
Yeah, but it had set itself up at Kembla already, coming off a Kembla course and distance win. So, I looked at Good Banter and went, I'm very interested in you. Anyway, in this race, they've gone par to the 800, +2 from the 800. That's average pace over 2,000 metres. Not as bad a sort of time race as this race often is. And Bush Girl, Kerry Parker, SP of 100 to 1, is leading from Heaven Bound. B Shin for Joe Pride. 3 out is Harlow Mist. And the line in behind is Kind Words on the inside. In the middle there is Waikato Girl, and 3 out there is Bright Red. So Good Banter is on the back of Bright Red there. Jamie Carr is getting ready to peel or to get off Bright Red's back. What else? So Autumn Angel is on its inside. So the 1, 2 are racing dead set midfield, Autumn Angel in the middle, and Bright Red. Good Banter 3 out with cover. And over on the rails is Kenyatta, which runs 4th. Concello beats her home. She is in the Denise Martin colours. 3 wide, in a bit of a sandwich, but, snuggled up there, really actually on the back of the winner. Kind Words runs 5th, and it is box seating at the moment. So, I mean, anyway. Autumn Angel had 28, but 28 was third up here, had 28 days between runs. Glenn, you put a fourth in your numbers. I presume she's going to back up against Zardozi in the Oaks and Orchestral as well.
It's just she probably hasn't got much improvement. I mean, I've got a fourth in my numbers, but I didn't even really like her on Friday. So I was taken by the style of animal she was.
All right.
There's only one horse you can take out of the race, and it is Autumn Angel, and that's because it had the 61 kgs v the 53 kgs. And I don't think it really appreciated the clockwise way of going, the way its neck was sort of on the side, and it seemed to be a little bit uncomfortable. So, look, I don't think it's a strong race, but I'm going to forgive Autumn Angel here, and it'll be, there might be a little bit of softness because people are going to consider this race pretty weak, and it could be a live chance in something better. That setup isn't ideal, Mark. 28 days off trying track. What was it, 16 to 2000?
Yeah. I mean, I know she got to 2001 last preparation and she beat Tropical Squall. But anyway, you're not going to be tipping her on Saturday, are you, against Orchestral and Zardozi?
But it depends on the price, Mark. Like if Autumn Angel is sort of like $18 and I can back it each way, I think it can run a decent race.
Well, we'll check out the price at the end of part one, because we'll just have a quick look at Queen Elizabeth Sydney Cup, New Oaks. Right, the Country Championship. Glenn, you got anything to say about those fillies? I mean, they're battlers, but I mean, they're not as it's not as bad a team of battlers as.
I guess I agree with what Gord said. He had a good opinion of number one going into the meeting, and he was proven right. Got beaten by a horse at PR, carried 8 kilos less. Like, number one was in front of Good Banter at that 200. And I saw the neck change on. Marble, great, awesome trainer at P. Moody. Like, what did he get? He got time for years for something. Then he basically got on, I don't know, he was calling football, telling everyone to fuck off.
It was Cobalt, Glenn.
Hey?
It was Cobalt.
Whatever it was. But now he's back and it's like he's won Everest. I've worked out trainers. The best trainers are the best people managers. Get yourself owners, take them out to dinner, talk shit. Horses train themselves.
Well, that's lucky, isn't it? Because, I mean, the hardest part is actually finding the owners, and, you got to schmooze.
Yeah. Well, I reckon Moody be a great schmoozer.
And, good company, I presume.
Good company, I'd suspect, yeah.
Here's the Country Championships. Kayla Nisbet on the 33-1 winner. +6 par home, and Bandy's boys left.
She's a bit of value, Kayla. She's only 1 point behind in the Nathan Berry medal, and you can still get 10,001 about it, wouldn't you?
Very, very, very good, Glenn. So there was an issue with Bandy's boy before the race, as in there was some concern over it. It's had some injury concern. It was past fit. +6 par home. This is genuine speed and good times for these horses, because after all, they are Highway Plus. And in the lead there is Musical Affair. Outside the lead there is Ozstar. 3 out is Rustly Crown, which I'd forgive, sitting there on a fast pace, second up. Given that it's got pace and in the right race could be seen to advantage. 4 wide is the 9-year-old Listen to the Band, so that's another forgive. And they've got Bander's Boy on the inside of the winner, Asgard, and 3 out is Rainbow Connection in the stripy cap, and 4 out is Gallant Star in those sort of pink colours. So we've got the winner in the green and the second in the pink. Rapidash runs third, and it is well back in the field, but on the inside. Red cap, red sleeves, white jacket. I've already picked out Rainbow Connection. Bianco Volano runs 5th. It's got a line through the winner, but it is standing the winner a decent start. It is in the white colours at the back of the field outside Atmospheric Rock. So is there a narrative here about Bandy's Boy that he won the wrong race, or?
Well, no. There's not a narrative, and there's not enough evidence to suggest this. I just think, like, I've been stung twice being super keen on these horses that are coming considerably back in grade. I can't remember the name of the horse, Mark, but do you remember the Cody Morgan horse that ran awesome against absolute top graders?
Yeah, I remember that.
And we thought it was going to be a moral coming back.
Monty, and it never works out.
Yeah, so it's interesting. There's a couple of pieces there that
it sort of ran third, beating a neck and a head like at 500 to 1 years ago. And looked to be looked after in that.
Yeah,
and then comes to the easier race and can't go. Weird.
They must have been hiding this horse or something. I don't mean that in any nefarious way. But,
sorry, the winner.
Yeah.
I look for the winner because I thought it's got to be in front of Bianco Villano, because when you look at when you look at their lead ups, it's better runs than Bianco Villano, and Bianco Villano's we know
didn't it win first up 1400, then run second at 1400, and then bounced it back to the 1175.
Yep.
And I just wrote down Trial Since.
Yep.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like absolute, they knew they had a horse that was flying this preparation, because it didn't really do much last preparation. No. This was an absolute target, and they did everything to qualify it and get it right to peak on the day. I'm saying I can never find a horse like this, but obviously the stable knew they had a bloody good one. I'm just checking out this Doug Gorrell. Is he any good or not?
No, he wouldn't be any good. TQ would know Doug Gorrell pretty well. It's just the line through Bianco Villano, Gord. Now, Bianco Villano is one of your horses. You declared it when J-Mac, lifted it through that gap at Rose Hill in the highway off the country championships run last 12 months ago. And, when you look at the two of them, this preparation, you're going, well, I know what Bianco Villano is. And in the championship heat, it is on the back of ASGARDA, and there's nothing between them. And then both come back in distance, and this horse gets badly checked, ASGARDA, at the 700, and starts shorter than Bianco Villano, and has tactical speed. I marked it as settling ahead of midfield, like just off the speed, whereas Bianco Villano from 16, you know where he's going to be.
I can understand you going looking for it, but for me, it's just like, what price am I willing to take Bandy's boy? I mean, it's far superior than that rubbish. By the way, this Doug Gorrell or whatever, dead set airborne. So had 8 winners from his last 50 runs at SPs of $3.10, $11, $5, $2.10, $2. $11, $31, and obviously $26 for the winner on Saturday. So if you found him as an out wide trainer, he's obviously doing something right at the moment, and the market hasn't been finding him. So I think he might have good feed at the moment.
Good feed.
It helps, doesn't it, Glenn? Bjorn. What's the latest on Bjorn and his feed?
Baked rabbit food.
Bander's boy. Initially I was resistant, and then I fell in, and I'm a bit annoyed about falling in. I tell you why I was resistant, because I went back to the race on Melbourne Cup Day. That race for country horses. Basically, if you've run in the Kosciuszko, it's like a little bit of a consolation. So Bander's boy was coming off his highway win at the same track, and he went to 1300. He carried 52. And he sat on the speed and got beaten a length and a quarter by I've Been Trying. And I'm thinking, okay, if you carried 52 there and you've been beaten at 1300, now you're going to 1400 and you've got your full whack. I know that doesn't necessarily explain the performance here. It does just appear to have failed. But
it's just failed, Mark. It's carried.
No, but what I'm saying is, even if it had run to its peak, I'm not sure that it would have.
Mark, we got the 1200 meter proper Saturday Metropolitan race against Fire and Munitions, where it won by close to a length, and it carried 58 kilos on that occasion.
You say that's a proper Saturday race, and it's Fire and Munitions.
What do you mean? It won by a length with 58 kilos in a 160,000 Metropolitan race. The third to Shadows and Love of an Extravagant Star over the.
It's 1100. Yeah, I'm just saying that our only evidence in town beyond 1200 is that 1300 at Randwick, and you could probably argue that it didn't really suit it.
Well, it's all a bit late now.
It is too late now. Let's move on.
Look, to be honest,
it's always a bet for Gordon.
No, I'm telling you, it's always a bet. But my thing is, if I've been Triennial Cavalier Charles are in that race, I'm looking to back them. That was weak as piss, that race.
Right, it was weak. Let's get to this. Is this first leg of the quaddy?
No, this is the size race 6. And +4, -3. It's a fast pace for 2-year-olds over 1400.
Well, if we've learned something about 2-year-olds, you don't take winning jockeys off winning horses. It doesn't fucking matter what the reason is. That's what we've learned. Adam Horace would have won the Golden Slipper.
Would he?
Yeah, he would have bounced it out. He knew how to bounce the horse out.
And J Mac, he didn't know what he was doing here.
But the horse just all busted up off the beat. It's lost it. So now it doesn't even get to OSL.
Adam would have been doing all the track work stuff as well. For
you just don't take a kid. For fuck's sake, Sam Clipperton wrote think about it on Saturday probably for the last time. That'll be the last time for him. But they'll take him off after 2 or 3 phases, not fucking not after. You don't take him off after they're posting ones. That's my theory.
So J Mac should be turning up to track work, or does he just go to help out Chris?
No, but Adam would always said it was his horse, his 2-year-old. He'd done all the work on it.
Not just that, he picked it early on when it was unraced. There was a few to pick from, and they say Adam went one way and T Clark went another. And
Adam rode it in its first ever trial.
Yeah.
Then TC rode it in its first ever career start, and then Adam got on it for its 2 best victories, although in Queensland.
Yeah, I know. The Brisbane win and the Magic Millions win was fantastic. It's hard to know what to make of its first start because it was basically led at Rosehill on a rail-out day. But the 3 runs we've seen in the autumn all look like he's left his Magic Millions form at the Magic Millions. None of them. I mean, you can make excuses for all of them, but none of them look any good.
I never like to see anyone lose money in our game. I like everyone to win, but to see Coolmore turn 60 million into 10 million does leave me warm and fuzzy.
I'm warm and fuzzy about it too.
Yeah, it is a great story. All right, so +4, -3. So
particularly with all that fucking around they did as well, they deserve it.
Oh, fuck. Who are they? Coolmore. Get out on the fucking track and bet, Coolmore. Show us who you are.
So one of the gay bots, Anode, shoots through there for T Clark to lead.
Yep.
And Traffic Warden is outside. Traffic Warden bled, so it won't be in the Champagne.
Okay.
Three out there is Prost. And I want you to watch this horse. I wouldn't have picked it out except Nigel pointed it out on Saturday. So it's 3 deep on the speed, and Stormboy is now firing up behind it and having to come out cross heels. That's shitty, isn't it, Gord?
Yeah.
Fearless is in the James Harron colours, buried, in the middle of the ruck there. Over on the rails is Vainara, the roughie. Duvana is behind it on the rails, and then we've got
MANAAL in the green.
MANAAL in the green with the white sash, and Coleman just ridden quietly behind it.
Well, weren't we all assuming that where Traffic Warden was where Storm Boy would be?
That's what I was assuming, yeah. But he couldn't get it going.
What did my map say? I said a node to lead Traffic Warden with Storm Boy 3 out, but the official maps had Storm Boy crossing 2 outside lead.
Well, anyway, if Traffic Warden's bled, I mean, yet again, it's not something that I've studied about how much it costs you, but it should have won the race.
Well, you don't know when they bleed. It might have bled when it was pulled up.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
But if you bleed, maybe, that means that there was something not quite right. But I know a lot of good judges, like Aaron was pretty keen on Traffic Warden. I think, didn't Nigel have something on it as well? I'm not sure.
Jay Collett comes down the outside. Coleman again looks the winner and gets.
Yeah, it's got a bit of cat.
So, do you reckon is that as simple as that, or?
Yeah, I think so because I thought it had. It's one of those ones that's so stylish you think it's got a hell of a lot of ability, but then what it did in the Blue Diamond, it was a bit of a warning signal.
Anyway, so Traffic Warden is having a job to get past a node, which, does make him a bit of a sitting duck. Stormboy has run his race. And the closers are Coleman and MANAAL, who hasn't got past Coleman yet, but then just absolutely eats the line, bang, grabs it. So can we just go back and have a look at this run of, it's back running, I'll say second last at this stage.
You're talking about Duval?
Prost.
Oh,
Prost was 3 wide outside the lead, remember?
Yep.
So it's a chance of running last here. Nearly beat Stormboy home. Past the line.
Yeah, the thing is, 1,600 metres could be still too short for us for next start. It's got to run. Yeah, I'd like if there was a 2,000 metre race, then I'd be even more interested. But,
anyway, the filly looks hard to beat in the Champagne, doesn't she?
What, this other winner?
No, this winner here. So what, Lady of Camelot's going to have a mid-prep trial and slip it of the Champagne?
No, I just, because when you said the filly, I was thinking, the MANAAL's favourite for the Champagne. She's a line chaser, it's going well.
Traffic Warden won't be in it, and Coleman's going to have his 9th run in this prep. It's not, but I mean, just feels like
will sit outside a node. They'll both be in it.
Sorry, so is Stormboy running again, or has it gone for a spell?
Well, they keep losing 10 million every time they put it down.
They've got to stop running it, Gord. It's like Capitalist. Remember Capitalist?
Well, I'm telling you, the one I'm going to back next start in the Champagne is Stormboy. So.
Wow.
I don't generally forgive.
Even with the SP anchor?
Well, see, that's my problem is the SP anchor. Like, if Stormboy had run around $5 in that race and done what it did, it'd just be such an easy bet next start because of the price I get. But with the SP anchor, it might be a little bit cautious. But I think Stormboy is 2 lengths better than any horse in that field, and
well, he's potentially 2 lengths better. But the circumstances are not propitious for it to be showing its true ability, isn't it? It's like
wow, that really surprises me.
I've got to be cautious, but I've got to get a price to find out.
Glenn, you were very taken with the appearance of the favourite.
I was, but I just feel like it's in the bin now. That's why.
My thing is if I think a horse is clearly the best horse in the race, and I get $5 to find out, then I'm just betting. Now, obviously, I've got if it's 2 to 1, if it's $3, then I stay away. But
yeah, you only need one of them to win every 5.
Yeah.
Gord, if it's not $5, I doubt it'll be in the race, but it'll be $5. Has to.
Well, then I'll be betting.
Yep. Right. Good to have losing bets occasionally.
I can just see something switching on in this horse that's slightly missing at the moment, and for it to get back to some of that.
A spell.
Yeah.
Because, we talk about these horses that come back off the Magic Millions all the time. It's not that easy to sort of peak in the Magic Millions and then go, right, well, there's still half the season to go, so we better, have another bite. When in fact, you've already peaked as a relatively early 2-year-old. It's tricky business. Anyway, here's the TJ Smith. Well played, Nigel and Aaron, who both tipped Chain of Lightning in the chat room. I see that John Walter was tipping it as well. Mayor off a win. Guys.
Particularly like Aaron said it like ages, like he rang me, I think, on Monday after like a week ago or whatever, and said, we've got to be back in Chain of Lightning here, Gordo. It's going to be great value. So good work, buddy, and good work, Nige.
Yeah, well done. So here, +2, +3. It's average pace. This is not. It was a lack of fast horses in the race. I mean, Coal Crusher is a leader, but he's ridden off him to go forward here. Marzu outside, and Bella Nipotina ridden with a lot of intent by the wrinkle. So those 3 out wide there come across to lead, and Chain of Lightning just holds a spot on the inside there to wind up box seating. Bella Nipotina also replated before the start. And so she keeps Marzu out 3 deep. And there's Imperatriz in the orange with the purple stripe on the sleeve.
So, Mark, can we just go back a little bit? Because I want Gord to look at this. I don't know if you noticed. Now, I don't know much about it, only because we all know. I nervous, but and I don't want to stick up for jockeys. But Opie Bossum here on the orange, he gets 10 or 11 days suspension for checking Marzu. I think I read that right.
Yeah, that's right.
And yet we see J-Mac, I'm not J-Mac bashing Gord, but he got a 4-day suspension for something the other day, which...
Well, he got a no-day suspension, actually, because he doesn't miss... He doesn't ride at the provincials.
Gord, explain the 11-day suspension to me here by Opie, who's in the orange, and Marzu, who's probably 2 lengths away from it, out wide. What's this? It's quite strange.
So we're before it, are we, Glenn? We're sweet?
We're before it. I'm pretty sure we are when I watched it. Go back to the start. Just go back to the start, Mark, because I just don't... I can't see it. So there's the orange. Where's Marzu?
Widest.
Yeah, widest. You got 11 days or something.
Yeah, you got basically the orange. 2 weeks.
I can't work it out. Wait, it hasn't happened yet, but you'll see that Imperatriz, the run presents, and he certainly basically, like, still nothing. He tells me
it hasn't happened yet, has it?
Yeah, it hasn't happened. But 11 days at this time of year for this. Here we go. Still nothing's happened. He wants to get the run and present the horse, and doesn't really do much. Just there.
Yeah, I'd give him nothing for it.
It's just like presenting the favourite. Like he waited long enough behind that, and Mizzou's so beat. He goes,
by the way, the more I said it straight after this race that if traffic, what is it called, AFCAB didn't want to do, Imperatrix would have won this race.
Yeah,
the more times I've watched this race, the more I'm saying, with any luck, Imperatrix wins this race. And I made an adjustment to back Imperatrix, Glenn. So I could be talking through my pocket, but lots of contact, cramped, having to push out, traffic warden going in on Mizzou and knocking it again, and it only gets beaten by half a length.
But going on this suspension, it really means that you're not allowed to play pinball with anybody in any way. It's not even really a check. It's just more
centrifugal force kind of thing, sort of like taking a run. But I mean,
as Mizzou's going into reverse gear.
Yeah. Look, I wouldn't have given him anything, but anyway. You'd give him a warning saying you were a little bit too aggressive, but you wouldn't give him time.
We got a week and a half.
Yeah, you would just be reminded to be careful when pushing out. Kyle Crusher in the lead, 3 out is Marzu, and in between is Bella Nipotina, the grey. Danny O did a Greys in the Wet study on Twitter last week.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, they're worse. They're better off backing bays in the wet.
You'd have to section off that data, Mark.
It's all 10 to 1 and under.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'd want other things sectioned off into,
Anyway, that was his study, and he does studies like that. So I presume that
I'd want to know what price he's taking, because I'd assuming that Hope price would be unders, because a lot of mugs back greys in the wet.
In
which case, a lot of enthusiasts.
No good.
Gord, a lot of enthusiasts.
Enthusiasts. Yeah.
Yeah, we need people that are bad punters so we can make a living. Enthusiasts. Let's make them better. All right.
Okay, so Arf Cabin has come up on the outside of Imperatriz, which Gord quite correctly says is a bit icky. Down on the rails there behind Chain of Lightning is Magic Time, and in the middle in that khaki sort of coloured cap, orangey, that's Johnny Rocker. Now, I wish I win for J-Mac. J-Mac's very happily poised there. He's on the back of the favourite, but also he's got clear air. He can get around Arf Cabin if he needs to.
Yeah, I think he's Goldilocks zone.
Yeah, he looks very, very, very nicely poised there. Sunshine in Paris is on his back, and underneath Sunshine in Paris is the Ruffy Willinger Beast. And Espiona is over on the inside, and wider is Bonus Notches.
So Espiona gets another Nash special, does it?
Well, he does try to pick his way through the field. Doesn't really work. She gets held up from the 4 to the 150, which we'll see in a minute, because we're So he's got nowhere to go there. Nash, he's sort of behind Imperatriz, and he's wondering if there's any space between any horses. He could have gone just back to the inside. He's just found an opening now, Nash.
Jesus, Imperatrix wins that a lot of times. I know it's a bunchy finish, but well.
A bit of a tradesman's TJ Smith.
Yeah.
Now, Bella Nepotina is your gauge, isn't she? She's sort of A minus.
Willinga Fairwell's beaten off the field.
Said she'd run well. She's flying. Go back and have a look at the, so interesting Shadows of Love in that provincial championship, isn't it, Gord?
Yeah, that horse is airborne.
And
yeah, for all our talk about a $3 million sprint race, not the strongest.
So unlucky Imperatriz, unlucky Espiona, fair play the winner. She just sort of gutsed it out.
So I wish our win goes out now. They freshen it up, first up, the Everest first up. So I just think every year it goes Everest, TJ, Everest, TJ. You don't even get to race it.
For Christ's sake, this winner, Chain of Lightning, comes off beating Tashi by 0.75 of a length.
Hard to find.
It's Johnny on the spot, Gord. She gets it. Damien Lane just gives her every chance. There are some unlucky runners behind her, and she's just, she's racing as well as she can.
I get that, Mark. I get that, but this is the TJ Smith. This isn't just Saturday mediocre race.
Well, it's probably a mediocre TJ Smith. Right. We come to the main event, the $4 million Doncaster. And in this race, they go out very fast, plus 16, minus 2. So another Will has been asked to do a lot of chasing here on that hot speed. Perhaps he could have done more, but anyway, Fearson comes across and leads, drops out to run last from that position. Think About It is chasing with another Will. You can see them there. 3 out there is Navajo Peak. It runs third last. In the middle there is Pericles getting a Bishin smother, and over on the inside is Militarize. So they are challenging in the straight before they get swamped by Celestial Legend. You can see Celestial Legend there trying to... So he had an incident at the start, probably settled further back than he intended. Tyler Schiller's trying to work out how to get through this field. So over on the rails underneath, what am I talking about here? Astern of Navajo Peak is Hinged. Well, no, Hinged is in the green, number 12. Go, Glenn.
Oh, Palmetto's on the fence in the red and blue.
Yep.
In the middle, in that colours.
Is Obamburamai, the Japanese horse in the white and the red.
Yep.
So I'm just trying to work out who is up in front of Hinge there. It is...
I don't know.
Lady Laguna. So she's a bit exposed as well for a horse running mile at this stage of her preparation. She doesn't like it. She drops out.
The yellow on the fence is Detonated Jack.
Yeah, Lindemann is back behind Hinge there with cover. Just up ahead of it is Nugget, which is the second string Australian bloodstock, because the one just backing behind it is Berkshire Shadow. Celestial Legend is behind Nugget with the red stripe stuff. Yeah.
And then Democracy Manifest is last.
Yep. Well, on the inside, yeah. Lock Eagle and Rustic Steel is actually last. Democracy Manifest, is Black Cap. And Kovalika is back there as well. So he does get held up between the 4 and the 2 here, the winner. Democracy Manifest gets held up. No Bamburamai gets held up between the 3 and the 1. Meanwhile, B. Shin is presenting on Pericles, and Militarise is trying to hang in there underneath him. And Tyler Schiller is about to get out now. Not quite out now. Allows them. Hinged. Well, Nugget certainly closing off well. Hinged next. Pretty happy Tyler Schiller.
Why would he be?
Well, I mean,
so the reference to KFC, was that about the fact that he hasn't eaten for 3 weeks or something? He would have been a hangry jockey.
49 kg.
He's actually ridden at the 49. He hasn't tried to get a half.
He was very lucky as a young boy, this Tyler Schiller. When he was 12, he could get into the pub because he looked 26 then. Now he's 24, he looks 42. He's an unusual looking man, young man. Talented rider.
I'm just a massive fan of this horse. Oh, by the way, congratulations to Sooty pricing this 2-1. It seems, and said it before the race, unlike Dominic Byrne. But
here we go, the old man's legends.
Poor old Dominic, he didn't say anything before the race or after the race, did he, Glenn?
He had Pericles horse on.
Well, that's a good effort. I'm a believer in this horse. This horse is out a done deal. This horse is going to be even better over 2,000 metres. Lightly raced, held up, powered through the line, will be suited up in distance. This is the real deal, this horse. I'm a believer now. Is it going to, what do we do? Out for something like, they should be aiming this at the Cox Plate. For sure.
What are you saying about another Will? Good. There it is, number 18 there.
Yeah, totally forgive. Didn't seem to handle the anti-clockwise of going, head in the wrong position the whole time, completely unbalanced. I think the horse is mad. I think it should go out for a spell, mature up a little bit, get a little bit more education into it, and it will be an absolute top grader next preparation.
Think about it. Spell set for the Everest. That would you consider it, or is it that
unless Pride has ruined it for the rest of its career by giving it this preparation?
Because you've got those two horses. So the leader gets beaten 15. Another Will, and think about it, they get beaten 2.5 and 3 and a bit respectively. Navajo Peak gets beaten 9 from sitting on the speed. Lady Laguna gets beaten 11 from being a bit exposed on the speed. What else is on the speed? That's Pericles and Militarise had sort of sucks behind the speed.
Man, we're all going to say is the two lightly raced young up-and-comers that are going to be dominating weight for age for the next 2 years are Celestial Legend and another Will. I'm really confident about that. I think they're serious horses. Obviously Pride think about it, a spell, and trains it like the sprinter it is.
Lee is also very good with sprinters. That's his absolute masterfulness. 4 lengths, 1st to 16th, Glenn. What does that say to you?
It's a handicap.
It says to me that it's a typical big Randwick mile handicap, and I'm not as confident it's good. This horse won with 49.5.
Yeah, but I mean, it's carried 56.5 to other awesome victories.
Yep. I'm just not, like you're saying, it's going to be a weight for age start. Is that what you're saying?
I think so, but when it hits 2,000 metres,
I'm not.
I just like I was talking to Dot about some figures off done deal horses, just about how when they get to 2,000 they sprout wings. Well, this horse has done it over shorter distances. So if that pattern continues and it's even better over 2,000, wow.
So where would it go, Mark? Would it go to the Frank Packer Plate?
No, it won't go to the Frank Packer Plate.
I think it can't go.
Not going to run an Epsom winner in the Frank Packer Plate. You sometimes run a Derby winner, but yeah.
I'll look it up.
I mean, it doesn't seem Les's style. He's not He's not. He sort of doesn't. He doesn't like to run them, really, does he? He could be in the Queen Elizabeth, which
that's
a bit weird because he'd be running against Via Sistina. Let's go to the JMac Masterclass.
You wouldn't want to back it against Via Sistina, would you, Gordon?
Probably not. But all price orientated.
Yeah, fair enough.
So here's the JMac Masterclass. Chairwolf's ahead of him in the run, and JMac manages to be ahead of him on the turn. Bit of argy-bargy there. This is obviously a long race. This race is run +9, -6.
So can you just go back to the argy-bargy? Mark, can you just go back to the argy-bargy just for a second? I'm just trying to work out what this... Okay, there's argy-bargy, but everyone's holding their line. I'm just trying to work out why they give it to Opie. I'll work it in. I feel like I see it every day.
You do love an underdog, Glenn, don't you?
Is Opie an underdog?
Well, he's not one of the
elite.
He's not one of the chosen few, is he?
No.
He's an easy target, soft target.
Fair enough.
I've got to say, Nash's balance on Cape Ferrat is just atrocious yet again. Horses just aren't going for him at the moment. I'm not
Doesn't
talking
he
from
often
a
look
pocket
like
there,
that?
guys,
I mean, he's not.
No, you go further back. I mean, he should have it perfectly balanced, and he's deciding what to do, and then he snags and lets bloody immediacy in front of him, and he's having a bumping duel. Just terrible ride.
I'm glad you think so. It's taken up the running because Ganbear has handed up. Robbie's told the stable not to lead today. Outside the lead, there is Adagio, the gay bot, to keep the leader honest. 1 out, 1 back is Wymark, which was originally outside the leads, now been relegated to third. Over on the rails, there is Gan Barret, and then next in the run is Immediacy, which Gord was talking about. Tom Kitten on the inside. Hello. What did Hippo do there? He just pushed Immediacy out of the way to get a one-off position. Surely that's a suspendable fence. Look at this. Bash.
That's what I'm talking about. We see it all the time in races.
Like that's competitive riding. I don't have a problem with it, but if you're going to
that one's worse than the Opie Bossum one.
Much worse.
Did Adam get time or not?
Don't think so.
Well, you should have.
So as they're coming down the side here, Chairwolf is on the back of Cap Ferrat, which is on the back of Immediacy, and Riff Rocket is back underneath Chairwolf. Noisy Boy is the horse in the red colours sneaking up the inside. There's Zenmaster dropping out, and Hooligan Tommy not passing a runner. Anyway, just at this point, so you can see that Chairwolf is a length in front of Riff Rocket here, but JMac goes, oh, God, I know what to do here. Now he's a length in front of Chairwolf. Just cut the corner.
For those that back Chairwolf, it was the right bet in this race.
But Gord, last Tuesday, we looked at this field and you went, Riff Rocket's immoral.
Yeah, and then I didn't redo the race because I remember I changed to Zardozi's immoral off the different form line.
Yeah.
And Riff Rocket, the form was franked earlier on. Yep. But what I'm saying is the right bet was Chairwolf off the run that it had. The people that were taking long odds about it rather than the short Riff Rocket, let's face it, you switch the runs, Chairwolf wins easy. Saying that, there's another dinosaur, Robbie Waterhouse. Like seriously, he tells TC not to leave on Gambare. Is that what you're telling me?
I don't know if he did. I'm making this up, Good.
The only chance Gambare had was leading.
Well, the leader's run third, hasn't it?
Yeah, there you go. Good work, Robbie. Go back to the dinosaurs.
I love it. He just loves an opportunity to stir.
When we're all dead in 30 years and Gord's still alive, he can go in and be like a fossil collector and find me and Dominic and Robbie's teeth.
I'll be copping it. Yeah.
So good.
The second horse does have upside. I don't know where it goes with this, but you know, and RIFF Rocket's won 2 derbies, and I don't know, what can you say? J Mac just, you know, he won at the race, didn't he?
J Mac won the race.
Like, looking back, you know, easy bracket play, RIFF Rocket and Cheerwolf. There's no other chances.
I suppose so. Like, you know,
Tom Kitten hasn't come up this preparation, immediately coming off far inferior stuff. Mark off far inferior stuff. You know, 2 horses with the best lead-up runs coming out of the proper lead-up, RIFF Rocket and Cheerwolf.
That sounds like an Aaron bracket bet for you, Gord.
Well, Mondays are really easy. Saying that, the first scratching there down there, number 14's Zardozi, might have made it interesting. Anyway.
Yeah, well, now she poses the get to the 8.
Now we get the last and
leader in the last.
Everyone thinks
finally get a leader.
Kiki, what a machine!
+2, -1, above average pace. Facile has scooted through the lead. She went back to 1100 last time and didn't get near them. Back up to 1200. She finds the front. Chris Tilley comes across outside, 3 out there in those checked sleeves, Arrowfield colours, aren't they? Is blah 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 blah. Isthmus, and 4 out there is Platinum Jubilee. It's 4 deep, just off the speed. Inside there is Western Dalby, red sleeves, there, blue cap, yellow jacket, and in between runners is Commemorative, and Mirrorvale Rose is in the yellow colours, sort of 3 out in the middle of the pack there. It's underneath Infancy, which is on the back of Platinum Jubilee. French Endeavour is over on the rails in the yellow, and Cigar Flick behind it. August Bloom, it runs 5th. It is in the middle at the back there in the China Horse Club colours. And sorry, Unique Ambition is outside it. I was pretty keen on Infancy here. She had the same form line as Facile, and Facile got in front of her this time and managed to hold off her finish. And the 2 favourites, well, talk us through Commemorative, Gord.
I'm going to go the GP pearl there and just say I'm invincible with the sting out of the ground. So I'll be completely forgiving of Commemorative.
Not comfortable.
Yeah, not comfortable. I will say a couple of things, like not only leader in the last, but Facile. I think we can stamp it now as an absolute swimmer. And even looking at its body shape, that looks right to me, Glenn. Is that right?
Yeah, that would be right.
Yeah, so we know what we need. We need it to control, and we need it on a wet track, and it'll run bloody well because it's got some nice runs in its career.
Who wrote it? TC?
Tyler Sheila.
TS.
Right. So it's 2 weeks in a row we've had someone win the big race, Shin with the slipper, and then comes out and wins the last with Chain of Ponds, and same with Tyler.
Yeah.
Which is unusual. So I was just thought that'd be
Chain of Lightning.
Yeah.
Lovely little kick from Facile there, you know. Really nice. By the way, after having a bad day, I won $5 billion on this race.
Oh, what did I do?
Every other person on the panel bet me $1 billion that Mirrorvale would finish in front of Commemorative, and Sooty was up that much after Celestial Legend that he wanted to bet me $2 billion. So I made $5 billion, mate.
It's not a bad piece of money, I'll tell you.
So, Glenn, did you win your $1 billion bet or not?
I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, Gord's got plenty to pay you.
I think I was Kind Words, wasn't I? And you were something else.
Oh, what race is that?
Autumn Angel, Autumn Angel versus.
Oh, so I won $1 billion. So there you go. I'm up $6 billion. I tell you what, I've got to start prop betting. I'll tell you about another prop bet I've had as well.
Anyway,
so Mirrorvale Rose, Glenn, you had it in for second. What's her story? Is she nice type? Blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah. Yeah, first time seeing, I was impressed. She went shit house.
Yeah. I mean, she's first up on a wet track, first time in Sydney. I don't know. It's just
I had my time again.
Sort of interesting.
I tipped Facile from Infancy and
French Endeavour.
I did think the third horse could run a place. I didn't do any good in the race.
She's coming back from a mile there. Is she a Weddy?
French Endeavour. I just think she's an honest, typical Matthew Smith horse.
You can see Infancy's got quite close there at 20s. All right, that's just quickly. I'll stop sharing.
That was not quickly.
just quickly, Glenn,
quickly. I thought you said
bear
it was
with me
just
for a second. Bear with me for a second. Get rid of that. And we'll go to some futures because I just want to talk about these races coming up. And I'll show you. So on Saturday, we have the Australian Oaks. So let's have a look at what's happening in the Australian Oaks. We have Orchestral $1.70, Zardozi $4, Toodle Avita 8, Autumn Angel 11 with Good Banter and Quintessa.
Yeah, well, that's just ridiculous pricing at the moment.
What'd you say, Good? It's ridiculous pricing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Orchestral, you, of course, you know, you market favourite, but 170, that's just mad.
All right. So
I just don't know where you go there, that's all.
I think that
Orchestral favourite, Zardozi's second bench.
Yeah, I know, but Autumn Angel's half a chance. Toodle Avita had to do a mid-race move last start, so it might be able to get a more comfortable position on this occasion. And there's a couple of 5%ers there further down. Quintessa was unlucky last start. Good Banner should be 100.
Mark, just go down a bit further. Any roughies there?
Oh, yeah, you can have $15 Maribel Buller and Queen of Dragons.
Well, the Maribel Buller form is now franked, Mark, because it's got the dominant victory over Good Banter.
Yeah,
right?
In a crawling race at Rose Hill, that was so slowly run and wasn't good.
I'm not saying it's got any ability, but
anyway, yeah.
So there's Firestorm there. The Queen of the Turf is Zugotcha scratch from the Doncaster.
So what is it? Waller,
New Zealander, Gay.
Nothing's jumping off the page as a bet. Yeah.
That's the Queen of the Turf. Here's the Provincial Midway Championships final. Shadows of Love, third pick, good.
I just hate the race because I'm a big fan of first, second, and third favourites. So, you know, when I see that, I generally don't bet in the race.
Yeah.
Isn't Territory Express the sort of horse you back at long odds and don't back it when it's the market?
Yeah, but it's a scary proposition, which means you can't be as aggressive pricing Tabby Time and Shadows of Love. You know?
Anyway. The Queen Elizabeth Stakes. There's Sustainer 210, Pride of Jenny, Mr. Brightside Cascadian out of the Australian Cup, Plastic Carousel, Riff Rocket. No sign of Celestial Legend.
Fair
enough. Too short via Sustainer.
And the Sydney Cup will see us out. More Felons Ash Run out of the Tancred.
And Circle of Fire, too short, the horse I want to back. So, yeah, I mean, these early market prices.
Yeah, I know they're early markets, but this is just Monday opinions.
Yeah.
You know, we've just reviewed a meeting there that's a feeder. So,
it's a feeder.
Feeder. Post impressions in the market there. Hopefully that's a money back if you don't start because it's gone for a spell. That is a look at Randwick on Saturday, which was a great meeting, and you know, it was great that it went ahead. It was great that it went ahead on a track that was pretty good. That's all I'll say. Let's get to part 2. Have a freshen up. See you soon.
I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do. This guy says the horse can do.